Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly Oracle Wisdom. My name is Natalie Sadie, and we are live on YouTube. And are we live? Live on. Yes, we are. Sorry, there is a delay with everything that is going on over here. We are live for the weekly Oracle Wisdom. I hope that all of you have had a wonderful week. I don't know about you. I'm feeling a little hungover from the Cancer new moon. I'm just tired. So I hope that all of you are feeling a little bit better than how I'm feeling. So we are actually only live on YouTube at the moment because there is another live going on the High Vibe. So let's get into this. Oop. Trial and error, experimenting with your life. Okay, I'm going to read it this way. Inexperience in a job or situation, willingness to try new things, exploring all possibilities. So I feel like this is a week to try new things. And look, sometimes people don't want to try something new because they are worried about failure. But the reality is, if you give something a go and it fails, you're left with no questions about whether or not something would have worked. And to me, the definition of bravery is trying something new and seeing what sticks and what doesn't. And unless you try, you never know. I've just had two cards jump out. So the unseen, working behind the scenes, not seeing the full picture, the blessings you don't see, magic happening behind the scenes. So here's the whole thing. When you're trying something new, you don't always see how the universe is working to help you. The other thing is, if you're worried about failure as you're trying something new, you don't necessarily need to tell everyone what it is you're trying. And I think I said something last week about not sharing the information about what you have going on until it's time to make that public. And I think sometimes if you're trying these different things, you don't need to tell people what you're trying. You don't need to tell them what you're working on, what you're experimenting with. They can know about it if they need to know about it further down the line. So it doesn't need to be seen by everyone. The other card that jumped out is karmic justice. Wrongs made right. You will be vindicated, getting what you deserve, learning karmic lessons. So I feel like when you put yourself out there, that's when you get rewarded. And the universe loves a stubborn soul. See, I'm so tired. I can't even speak. The other thing is learning karmic lessons. I think it's a constant in this life. Like, we go through periods where we are learning new things, or we're learning how our actions impacted others, for better or worse. And sometimes that can be difficult, and we go through moments in time where we sort of go, I'm done with the lessons. But lessons are a good thing. And I think if that comes up this week, you just kind of have to take it. You take the lessons, because every time you learn one of these lessons, you're able to develop and go further in life and do better moving forward. That without that lesson, you wouldn't have been able to. Up in the air, not knowing where you stand, situations, decisions still undecided, uncertain about something, lacking stability. To me, this comes back to the trial and error card. It can feel really uncertain because you're trying something new. You don't know where it's going to land. Is it going to take you where you want it to take you, or is it going to go down like a lead balloon? But sometimes the excitement of not knowing is what makes life really exciting, and you have to embrace that. I think I'm someone who loves stability. I love stability in my life in terms of having a home that feels like a sanctuary and it feels safe, and I can control who comes in there, because energetically for me, having my space protected is so incredibly important, and I love that stability. But sometimes in life, if things are too stable, it becomes monotonous and it becomes boring, and who wants that in life? So when you have these moments of it being up in the air and things being undecided, enjoy it. Enjoy the feeling of anticipation, enjoy the feeling of the uncertainty, enjoy the feeling of so many possibilities laying out before you, because in moments like that, everything's possible. Nothing is a no, everything is just there. And I think that's a wonderful and magical thing. I'm going to pull 2 more and then we're going to move on, because I actually have a few decks here today. So purpose, doing the soul work, looking for meaning in life, discovering your life purpose, going on a spiritual journey. This is tied into the karmic justice card. When you get those lessons, it sends you on a bit of a journey. And if you're really tuned in, it'll send you on a spiritual journey in a good way. To be tapped into your higher self is an incredible thing. To be able to move through life with that connection, I think helps your soul's growth, helps you develop and move through the lessons in this life and really make the most of the opportunity of being here on this earth. And I think you have to embrace it. I mean, I was going to use the shadow work deck today, and I got a very clear message that was not the deck to use, but I think it's because everyone's kind of doing the deep work anyway, so you don't need any prompting from me or anyone else. The universe is showing you what you need to work on, and you just need to hear it and actually do the work. I'm going to pull one more of these cards. Coldness, absence of love, love life is blocked, frozen in some area of your life, emotions buried deep within. So I don't know if the up in the air feeling is attached to a feeling of coldness and like things are blocked, but this is where you need to sort of dig in and do that spiritual work to be able to move through all of that. If your love life is blocked, do you have a blockage within your heart chakra, within sort of the space that you're in, that you don't want to welcome any of that into your life? Years ago, I remember somebody saying, how are you not being asked out on dates? You must be on dates every week. And I said, absolutely not. And they said, why not? And I said, well, I don't really get asked out on dates. And they went, how is that possible? And I went, I don't know. And so I sat down and I reflected on what was going on for me, and what it was. Every time I was asked out on a date, I said no. And I wasn't saying no because I didn't want somebody in my life, but I was saying no because for me, with someone that I'm attracted to, I know very quickly if there's chemistry. And so I don't want to waste anybody else's time. But I also realized that by constantly saying no to what was showing up in my life, it meant that the universe wasn't going to bring me anything else because I kept rejecting all of it. So I made a deal with the universe. I said, the next person you offer me, I will say yes to. So sure enough, about 2 weeks later, I was out at an event. This person asked me out and I said yes. And it wasn't a love match, but we had a fantastic time. He was such a gentleman. He was so lovely. And it started a stream of people coming into my life. And shortly after that, I ended up in an 8-month relationship with an incredible man. So you have to, if there's a blockage, you have to think about why that's happening for you. And if it's as simple as you don't want something in your life, you're not looking for anything and you're happy that way, that's totally fine. But it's something different if it's something that you want, but it's not coming in. I also feel like this is tied to the emotions buried deep within. So with the learning karmic lessons and doing the soul work this week, I think this is where you have to take a look deep inside to figure out what it is that's going on for you. What emotions are being triggered, or what emotions are you hanging on to that maybe it's time to work through so that you can let go of that and move forward. Okay, so I am moving on to the Spirit Animal Oracle, which is the Colette Baron-Reid deck. And this is the deck that if you were watching Gemini Rising, was it last week? I've lost all sense of day and time, but the episode we did with Chris Reck, we talked about which decks of cards he and I both like to use. And this was one of his favorite decks. So he inspired me to pull these back out because I do love this deck, and I'm feeling very connected to nature this week. So fox spirit, think on your feet. We always know that the foxes are sly and cunning, and they're quick to act, quick to think, and sometimes we need a bit of that. It's not a time to, I think, when you're doing the soul work, because I'm about to say something that almost sounds contradictory. When you're doing the soul work, you have to sit and you have to be patient with yourself, and you have to really be honest and find those answers. But in terms of work and with the experimentation that you're doing and just sort of moving through life this week, make your decisions just quick. You know what it is you want to achieve, you know what it is you want to do, and you know where it is you want to go. So make the decisions. Don't dwell on stuff. Don't drag your feet and wait for some big sign to come and tell you what it is you're meant to do. You already know. Just make the decision. Act like a fire sign. We do things, and it can be maddening for people at times, because if I say I'm doing something or I'm traveling somewhere, my ticket is booked within an hour and off I go. Okay, so we're in the dog family today. Wolf spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. So wolves are just some of the most incredible animals, and they're incredibly wise with the way they are in terms of their pack, so their family units, and the way they hunt. And there is a wisdom there. So tap into your deeper wisdom. So where the fox spirit, I feel, is more about the day-to-day life, I feel like the wolf spirit is more about the karmic journey, the soul work that you're doing this week. You've got to tap into that ancient wisdom, the ancestral knowledge that you have, the deeper wisdom from all the spiritual work and light work that you've done. And if you haven't done much, that's fine. Maybe this is the beginning of your journey, but it's time to start tapping into all of that and really hearing what's going on, what it is you need to do, and what needs to happen moving forward. So we're going to do one more of these. Frog spirit, clear out the clutter. So people have long believed that if you have a clean and sort of clear workspace, house, the way your house is set up, without all the clutter, it's easier to think and it's easier to function. And it's one of those weeks. And sometimes clutter can be in the mind. If you're hanging on to a whole bunch of emotions and things and ideas that don't necessarily serve you, that can be distracting. It's hard to move on and do the things that you need to, or move on with life in general, if you're clinging to something. So it's time to let all of the clutter go, whether that be mind, body, spirit, soul, physical, all of it. Clear it out. Get a beautiful, clean space where you're able to sit there and really really move forward. And again, that also comes down to this whole thing. Okay, I'm going to show you that card in a minute. I totally lost my train of thought because this card that just came out is just too good. But it is time to clear all the stuff that doesn't serve you out of your life that then allows new things to come in. So after my whole spiel about love, and if you're just not wanting love, all of that, that's fine. Just be really honest with yourself. So this is the Archangel Michael Sword of Light Oracle deck that I'm using. This is Raleigh Valentine. And the card that came up, don't give up on love. I say it every week. You can't make this shit up. A relationship you cherish can be healed. Allow me to stay clear. Allow me to clear the way for forgiveness so that love can thrive again. So maybe it is a past relationship that needs healing. Maybe it's, you know what? Sometimes it's just a relationship with yourself that needs healing. When we're angry with ourselves for the way a relationship played out, for the way things happened, you know, we can carry that burden, and maybe if we were hurt, it can make us afraid to love again. And part of that is, you know, do we blame ourselves for the way the relationship broke down and the hurt that we had to deal with? You have to let all of that go. And with any sort of relationship, there is the risk of being hurt. That's a reality of being in a relationship. But at the same time, if you don't take that risk, you never get the reward of true and beautiful love. So just don't be closed off to what's there, whether it be healing the relationship with yourself, someone from your past, friend, lover, whoever it may be, or with yourself. I do love what these cards do. Okay, so embrace this magical moment. You are in the perfect energetic space for manifesting miracles. Allow your wishes to be fulfilled. I'm a big one for believing in manifestation and understanding how powerful we all are at creating our own reality. The problem is people get very stuck on, it becomes like an obsession and a thought in that regard of going, I have to have it, I'm manifesting. When in reality, when you're manifesting, you need to put that thought or that want out to the universe and then be able to release it and not have attachment to it. And then you can create everything. And I get that that sounds like an oxymoron in some regards, but when you don't have the emotional attachment, that's when the universe gives you what you're after. So maybe you just need the reminder to be able to release it. And the best example I always give of this is whenever you've broken up with someone or you're in a fight with someone and they're, you know, you're waiting for them to call and you're sitting there and you're waiting by the phone and they're not calling. And then you have a moment where you look to the sky or you look at your phone and you go, you know what? I'm done. They're never going to call, and I am okay with that. I have to be okay with it because it's time to move on. And the second you say that, they ring you, they call you. So it's that moment of release and leaving it to the universe to put what is meant for you in your path. So if you remember that with whatever it is you're trying to manifest, you will be able to create miracles. All right, we're going to do one more of these, and then we're just going to finish up with one dragon card because we've got the dragon thumbnail. I always say there is a theme to every reading. Open your heart. I was only going to pull 2 of these, but I kept hearing you've got to pull one more. No one is perfect. Stop judging yourself and others. Let love heal this situation. Everything that I was already saying. So if the lack of love in your life or the block is about how you're feeling about yourself, you're not feeling worthy or you're scared, It's time to let all of that go. It's time to open your heart back up to the possibilities of what could be absolutely incredible for you. I don't want to say more because I feel like I've already said it, and that last card was really just a confirmation. And these, of course, are the Diana Cooper Dragon Oracle cards. All right. Who wants to talk to us today? The Emerald Dragon. Bring in healing and cosmic abundance. Good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with your fifth dimensional blueprint. What a perfect way to finish this reading. I feel like it's the cards reminding you that the universe is supporting you. It's got your back. You can manifest these things that you want, whether it be love, material possessions, these things that you're trialing this week. If they're meant to be, you'll manifest them and it'll be amazing. And if you're not meant to manifest them, it's an adventure and an experience that you can move forward through life knowing or understanding what works and what doesn't work for you. I'm doing well today. So just know, and then align with your fifth dimensional blueprint. That's all about the cosmic and karmic work that you're meant to be doing. So this is a week to do it. Tap into all of that, and trust and let go. There's nothing else you can do. I hope this reading resonates with some of you, all of you. As I say each and every week, keep what resonates, let go of what doesn't. Not every reading is for every person. If you're watching this on High Vibe, I'm sorry that you're seeing it as a recording. We didn't realize there was another live going on as we were going live as well. So that's why that's happened. If you haven't seen the last episode of Gemini Rising, head to the Natalie Sadie YouTube page and check that out. I am about to drop an interview that I filmed earlier today with a doula, and it's all about home birth versus hospital birth. Really, really interesting. Again, may not be a topic that everyone is interested in, but for those of you that have had a child, know someone that's having a child, or are having one yourself, could be a really great one. So that'll drop. I'd like to have it up by the end of the week, but it may be Monday. So just keep your eyes on the Natalie Sadie page for that. I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful week. We will be back next week with Abby Wynn on Gemini Rising. So we're super excited for that. I believe it's 10 a.m. Pacific time. So yeah, join us live for that. If you've got any questions for Abby, we would love to have you in the chat. If not, the recording will be up there and available for when you are able to watch it. And as always, and thank you so much. I'll see you all soon.